fire lane. And I comforted the baby, and at the point that he was okay, then I asked my husband, hold him, and I ran into the supermarket to the deli area and grab up some napkins to come back and just clean out the car. And when I returned, in just about, I was approached by 2 police officers, and we had the emergency light on the car at the time to indicate that it was an emergency. And he wrote me tickets and confiscated my driver's license. So anyone's question would be, why are you taking my me? And rather than explaining to me the process, if their process may be different, because in New York and New Jersey they give you your driver's license right away, and the officer just got into just wanted to argue, very argumentative and just being rude and abrupt to me. And next thing I knew was that he just grabbed me, threw me down in the back of the car, and just began to pat search me as a female. And then he called the other officer to put the handcuff on me. I was shocked. I just went into shock because it happened so fast. There was no reason for him to do that. I was not read any rights. I wasn't even told that, what I was doing. And the next thing I know, I was knocked down during that process. I was knocked down to the ground and was injured. My husband and my 2 children were forced to watch while the ambulance picked me up and took me to the Southern Regional Hospital. And while I was at the hospital...
What happened that caused the ambulance to come on the scene?
Because I was injured, resulting from being pushed down to the ground. And my husband was told that him and the children were not able to visit me because I'm a criminal. At that point, I was dressed and undressed by a male nurse, and I requested a female.
A male nurse?
A male nurse in the hospital, yes. And I'm so private, I can't even see a male doctor, in my culture. It's just I have to be a female. So I'm sure you can imagine how uncomfortable that all of that. I wasn't able to walk. I was taken to the car, then was taken to jail. And real briefly, I want to explain to you, which is really going to sound a little bit confusing, because if you're going to jail, you're panicking. But in my case, I was locked in the back of the car with the 2 men whom abused me and brutalized me, driving me, and the road was dark, so anything could have happened. And my heart was just palpitating. Are they going to stop this car again, or what are they going to do? And at the time when I saw the light of the jailhouse, I was happy. Because I realized then that there's going to be more people at the jail, so they can't really abuse me or brutalize me anymore. And when I got to the jail, they kept me for excessive period of time. When my husband called, he said, well, she's not cooperating, where we're going to keep her. And that's just because they're telling me to admit I screwed up. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that, because I'm not the one that is at fault here. So to make a long story short, and I always believe in fighting for my rights from I was a child, I decided to fight it because it wasn't just. And basically, the state was afraid of me bringing a lawsuit against them for police brutality. They have conspired with the physical therapy company in which I took physical therapy for 6 months. They conspired with my witness to turn against me. They have went out and solicited people that did not see what's happened to testify, and all of that came out in court. For example, there was a question in which my attorney asked the 2 managers who supposedly saw the incidents, and he said, what did you do when you saw all that was going on before the store? One of them said, well, we walked away. So both of you say, yes, we walked away back in the store. When the other one came in this town, he said, no, we both went out to intervene. We had a situation also where one of the witnesses said she pointed in the police officer's face. The police officer said, no, said, no, she was respectful. So it really was a mockery of the judicial system. But just to, I don't want to be Lancel here because there's a couple of little issues that I wanted to go into. I was convicted based on the testimony of my own lawyer. And a lot of people told me even now, why didn't you get a lawyer? I've got a lawyer at that point, and he joined with the state in conspiracy and testified against me.
Was this a state appointed?
No. I paid. After that incident, the whole thing, I was penalized. I lost everything because I have to hire more than one lawyers. So I paid that lawyer. And just to come back a little bit, the state main witness was convicted at 40 counts based on my investigation, 40 counts of welfare fraud. Madam Foreman was also a convict, and they got away with what they did just so that they could vote against me and convicted me. So I was convicted of obstructing the police officers and all of that. And then as this proceeding went on, I felt sick one day and I went to the doctor. The doctor said, guess what, you're pregnant. I was devastated. I called a friend of mine and talked to her over the phone. And she said, Shelley, do not grieve God. She said, you don't know because of this child that maybe you wouldn't have to go to jail. And as time went by, the case went to appeal. So remember, you have to even pay a lawyer to appeal the case. And the appellate court upheld it as erroneous as it seems with all of what I've told you. Even at one point, one of the witnesses came to the door. He didn't know my husband during the trial and say, show me her. I don't know what she looks like. This is supposed to be a witness who saw what's happened. So my husband heard and told the attorney. It was just going out and getting anybody that they could